We have the newspapers in the studio. Mama
Roland, stop talking. Yes, I am on. Now we're on. We're all on. We're doing the newspapers for you now.
The newspapers now,
Yeah. No. We want to welcome our director today, Patrick Gomez.
It's Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick is directing today.
Yeah, Mama V, you're on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we're seeing things. Now let's look at what the stories are on the front pages. Front page, I went to Still Not Kill. MP's assailant and 1 week observed at Tafo. You know, his alibi or whatever, his statement just doesn't rhyme.
There are a lot more questions that people are asking.
You were able to somehow maneuver the various security barricades, wall, iron gate, etc., get into, and straight away you took a ladder and then you went straight to the bedroom.
Yeah.
If you want to steal, I know that the resources in a home are usually in the hall and some other unless you know where the money of the person you're going or the household you're going to steal is.
Yeah.
So you go and take home theaters, TVs and things, and you arm yourself with machine guns and all that.
He went with a catapult, apparently.
A catapult and a knife to go and steal a whole house. Do you know J.B. Dankwe's house? It's a big house. Doesn't make sense to me. And the police are buying this?
Well, that's what they have. They're going with it. That's what it means.
Sure. You can't even see his face.
There are so many questions we want to ask the police right now. I mean, are you looking at other leads or this is it?
I feel so sad about this gentleman's murder. It's just not fair in many respects. Now we have minority unhappy with President Speaker over handling of former Gitmo detainees. They have 4 arrested for robbing. These are the robbers. They go and rob in Accra. Let me read the story to you, Mama V.
The difference.
Yes. This armed robber. As for this one, he didn't go to
not
rob.
all robberies are the same.
To go and steal a house that has fence, barricades and all. And they said 4 persons accused of specializing in breaking. Listen, Mama V. Listen, Mama V. 4 persons accused of specializing in breaking into banks and other financial institutions in some parts of Accra were yesterday remanded in police custody. And then it went. Kuku Boateng is said to be the leader of the gang. This guy is no gang, who recruited others after some of the members of his original gang were arrested in prison after 2013. And they succeeded in stealing a total of 77,800. This guy took mobile phones.
2 mobile phones and a tablet.
So foolish that he even went to go and have some of them decoded. You think that's an armed robber?
You don't buy the story?
No, I don't buy it. I don't know if viewers buy it. If you tell me, I don't buy it. Anyway, back page. 2 students sustained injuries in reprisal attacks at KNUST. And you know,
Unity
Katanga
Hall.
They call it Unity.
Yeah.
Is it Unity?
Which one is that?
University of Science and Technology. So we have University Hall and then the Unity Hall of the
2 halls, 2 rival halls.
Yo.
But I can't believe that they are taking it to this extent.
And I heard they stabbed each other.
Shame on them.
Well, there was no fatality.
You don't do that.
Yeah,
you don't do that. I mean, the rivalry doesn't go to this extent, does it?
Well, you never know.
Sometimes I know that it can get intense, but Charlie, you shouldn't do this.
Katanga, they are always not this vandals. They are Katanga, they are terrible.
Really?
Yes.
They're crazier than the vandals?
No, vandals are rough.
I love vandals.
Yeah, they are rough, but they don't go to this extent.
Yeah.
But Katanga, they can be very feisty, whatever.
There's is it Casford?
Yes, Casford.
That's like
the version at the University of Cape Coast campus.
Yeah.
Yes, Casford.
Okay. That doesn't mean anything. I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
That's the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page of the paper. Suspected. Yeah. You know, women love like bad boys. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's true. My husband is very cool. I'm even wondering. I'm even hot now.
He's a vandal.
He's a vandal. I'm not surprised.
V-mate.
He's a V-mate.
Okay, suspect in MP's murder remanded. Nats gives government deadlines. Minority accuses president of violating constitution and don't wash your daughter's private parts. That's on page 17. What's that in relation with? Let me open to page 17 in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Okay, so this is a caution. Fathers cautioned. Fathers have been urged to desist from bathing or cleaning their daughter's private parts during their childhood. Abigail Edem Hunu, who is a gender activist and a programs officer at Women in Law and Development in Africa, explained that there was the likelihood of the fathers inserting their fingers in the vagina, which could or would affect the children. And then this is a quote from what she said: when they bath and clean the vagina, the child gets used to it and sees it as normal. Therefore, when an outsider with evil intentions inserts his finger, the child will not complain. Wow, this is a very useful call. Maybe we should spend some time on this particular conversation here on the show sometime. This is about NAT's given deadline. We know that teachers have been in the news for quite some time now. A good number of them have not been paid. They've got some back arrears that they've been fighting for. But this one says that the Ghana National Association of Teachers has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government to pay about 100 million Ghana cedis salary increment arrears owed its members, the failure of which they would lay down their tools. The NAT also claimed that the government owed its members salary arrears covering between 12 and 24 months. Addressing a press conference in Accra yesterday, the General Secretary of NAT, David Oforie Champong, debunked the assertion by the Minister of Finance at a media interaction last week that there were no arrears to be paid to teachers. Okay, so back page of the Times, Volta Basin Development Plan launched. The story says that a strategic action plan for effective management of the Volta River Basin to improve the livelihoods of the beneficiary countries was yesterday launched in Accra. What does it really mean? If you're interested, I guess you can grab the paper with some of the river bodies, the dams we were watching the news earlier, drying up. When it comes to like action plans and machines and things like that, we don't really believe in it. What we want is the water. Ghana, 2 other African states to receive some $15 million to boost agriculture. That's also in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Roland.
Front page of the Daily Guide has a story. I stabbed MP 3 times, says JB's killer. And you find a picture there of Daniel Asiedu, who has had his bushy hair cropped. EC boss hot over NDC appointees. Imani punches NC again. And then we have gone on, a lot more of the stories are in there. You have the next paper, which is
The Finder. Okay, essential drugs in short supply. 50% shortage reported nationwide. This is scary. Shouldn't be happening. Also on the front page, Nanado promises fishermen, says NPP will grant them autonomy in distribution of premix fuel. I erred in killing MP. That's according to the JB Dankwa Edu's the murder suspect. He wanted to speak in court yesterday. He wanted. He said he didn't.
I think that's what the judge.
The judge, yeah. This is almost like a playback of the gentleman who allegedly went to the president's church to want to kill him. Yeah, but he was allowed to speak, and he was sentenced right there and then. I mean, it was so swift. But this judge, I think, he's trying to follow the due procedure. Said that it wasn't that time yet. Okay, so let me get into the story about the essential drugs in short supply. That's on page 2 inside the final newspaper. Story by Elvis Darko in Accra says, patients who will be rushed to public hospitals during emergencies risk losing their lives due to shortage of a large number of essential medicines. Traceable medicines, they call it, nationwide. Essential medicines are used to save the lives of patients rushed to hospitals in emergency situations, but patients risk not being supplied essential medicines when they seek medical care at various public hospitals across the country. Data compiled by the Ghana Health Service, which has been seen by the Finder, indicate that regional medical stores nationwide have reported about 50% shortage of essential medicines. As a result of the operational level of regional medical stores nationwide, it's less than 50%. Okay, maybe this is an issue that Roland can go into during talk. I don't know, but the headline's rather very scary. Yes. Like you risk losing your lives because we don't have traceable medicines.
It's a very scary situation sometimes when you hear the stories. We have on the front page of BNFT, oil revenue dips despite target cuts. And we know that also Saudi Arabia internationally have agreed to stop drilling of oil for some time.
They're running at a huge cost.
Yes.
They're not making profits.
And they intend to stop to at least beef up the price on the commodities market. We also have showed Ghana closer to make Nigeria open up. Airspace disputes resolved, and Backpage ETI announces leadership change as Ecobank Transnational Incorporated. They have Samuel Ashiti Eje as the current managing director of the Ghana subsidiary. He's been appointed managing director for the group's recently combined region as Central East and Southern African country, consisting of 18 subsidiaries. And he'll step down as MD of Ghana as by 30th of March 2016. That'll be interesting. Okay.
Let me do the Chronicle,
Please do.
perhaps the last paper, and then we'll get onto some messages. The Chronicle newspaper front page. JM pops up on outboard motors. I'm sure you're trying to figure out what this means. So you see this outboard motor, which is in the picture on the front page of the Chronicle. Apparently, it's got a certain embossment with the president's face on it. That's what they mean by JM pops up on outboard motors. And in this particular insert, you find them, right? Madam Jagbile Anate, a member of the National Fish Processors and Traders Association, receiving her outboard motto embossed with President Mahama's picture from Mr. Odampton. Also in the picture is Mr. Kempis. So that story, if you're interested in reading, it says it's on pages 3 and center. 2 KNUST student stabbed. Smarty's deal is awfully bad, according to the NPP. Okay, so these are the headlines in the Chronicle newspaper. And that will be it, Roland. You have another paper you have not reviewed?
I don't.
Okay, so if you're interested in any of the stories that you've heard, you can go to the newsstands and grab the newspaper. I would try and take you around myjoyonline.com, but let me read some messages. This one says, good morning, family. You can only learn so much from books. You can only learn so much from education. Ultimately, it is the wisdom of God that will carry you through in the toughest situations of life. Ravi Zacharias, and it's from hashtag Ahomka Inspiration. Thank you very much for that inspiration. This one says the government should do well to solve this water crisis. We're also suffering in Tamale, and that's from Abdullah Abdul Razak in Tamale. Good morning to all you and the listeners. Okay, join news. In fact, you guys are doing a good job. Keep it up. Martin Luther King in Georgia, who's always watching the show. Thank you. This one says, good morning, Mama V. Water situations in this country have been a serious headache for me as one person. I don't know what measures our leaders are putting in place to solve this issue. In a country like Botswana, for instance, it is being estimated that by the year 2070, all the water bodies in that country will dry up totally. But I'm yet to hear a single policy on that. Every morning when I wake up after my prayers, the first thing that comes to my mind is water. Hey, Africa, God save us. It's from Geek in Aflao sending the message. This one says, okay, James in Kintampo, thank you for the nice things you say. AM Show is the best. You are the best partners for this program. However, you're asking who is Aisha Ibrahim? She's our colleague on the evening belts. This one says, a seed grows with no sound, but a tree falls with huge noise. Destruction has noise, but creation is silent. In your success, remain silent as there's power in silence. Grow silently and allow the master to shape you. Good morning. It's from Joshua Edem in Ho. Roland asks that you send us inspirational messages, and you're doing fantastic already. From our friend Afelete Avula at Akuse, says, Roland and Mama, please, you promised to confirm when Children of the Pit will be shown. I have been waiting to watch. Oh, Gomez, our director, please let us know, because you've been playing the promos. I'll tell you today. I won't forget. Roland, please remind me.
Children of the Pit, I will remind
we'll have
you.
To, yeah, because I think the date was changed with Seth's documentary. you know, because of the
But we'll make the date and time available for
Yeah,
you. I think
exactly.
that's the most
We
important.
will. We
That's
will.
the best thing we can do for you, so that you
I
know.
promised him yesterday and I
Yes,
didn't
you did,
deliver.
you did.
Thank you, Mama V and Roland, for starting my day with, is it Coco the video?
Coco by EL.
Yeah. Clip was actually taken from my hometown, Mount,
Everest.
is it Jemi? Jemi?
Mount Jemmy.
Okay, it's from Robert Avajida, Assemblyman in Nkwanta, sending us that message. Good morning
He
to
means
you
what?
all.
They went to do the clip
Did they in his hometown?
in Nkwanta.
Well, I don't know if Jemmy is in Nkwanta, but okay. And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it well, but a voice note would do for me, I beg. Good morning to you all. May Allah bless you for your great job you're doing. Abdul Hafiz Mohammed from Prestia. And I'm going to continue with the messages, but let's go to myjoyonline.com. Quickly, Roland.
We have Gitmo Saga, and we have Eastern Central Region West hit by acute water shortage currently. And you go there, you have also Fantiaqua residents on red alert over influx of nomads. Is that how they look there? Are we sure that's how they look?
I've seen people dressed like this in Ghana sometimes.
Yeah, but very often they don't look like that. Mahama impeachment threats baseless. NDC MP tells minority MPs over Gitmo concerns or saga. It's an ongoing issue. Well, and then we have some other stories also on the news portal.
Women are their own angels.
That's an opinion. So it's a feature. Mama V is there. Finance Ministry has failed, as according to Nagrat. You did this interview on Monday?
Yes.
Okay. It's not appearing on the news portal, myjoyonline.com. Who leaked fake ICH report to document to Imani?
That's also an opinion.
It's also an opinion. And then we have Boutros Ghali, former UN Secretary General, dies at 93. What an age. He's an Egyptian, though. Had retired in Cairo for
the first
a number of
African.
years. I remember I visited his home when I visited Egypt some time ago.
Yeah.
And he has fantastic pedigree in that country.
The first African with
He's African.
He's African, but he's got the, because he's from Egypt. Egypt is Africa. Arabic first African,
descent, somebody who,
Arabic person to have been. But I think in 1996 the US did not endorse him for a second term.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yes, they didn't.
Okay.
Justice Derry petitions Bahama over death threats on him. And we also have JB Meda, teenager remanded. MP, look at his face. MP scream for help moments before death, court hears.
Charlie, but I don't know. I mean, this issue is in court, right?
A gentleman, rest in peace, man.
I just pray that this is not the only lead that the police is following, because I'll be very worried if it was. There are so many questions. There are so many things that don't add up. I mean, he screamed and nobody heard him.
Yeah, I heard the watchman heard him.
And he went out to look for help. What was he put there that when there's a situation in the house, he would go outside and go and look for help, or he would at least come in and try and support?
I feel so sad. Is it good to build a big house?
It is absolutely it is.
Anyway, we'll see how it is. It's a very tragic story.
If a watchman watching you gets scared when there's some kind of burglary,
then there's no use hiring him.
Yeah.
You better put in place a security person. The point is, you see, the security companies also don't pay their personnel well. So I think if I even go for a security person from a security company, I need to make sure that whoever is guarding me is well resourced, so that person will have a very good heart to. Because
telling me, I'll say have wild dogs at home.
For me,
wild dogs.
For me, it was untenable for the security man to be saying that he was sleeping, because you're supposed to work at night and sleep during the day.
You know, he was sleeping, and when his master came, he opened the gates and then went back to sleep. Fantastic. He's paid to do that.
To sleep and open gates and do all that.
Okay,
so those are the stories we have currently, and so We have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have
Please,
Benedict also down quite in the
messages.
studio. We're already way into time. We'll
Let
read
me
the
read two messages.
later. We're taking
two,
a break.
One. Good morning, Mama V and Roland Ghanaians. Okay, this one from Kofi Abanga, Duayao in Kwanta. Bigging us up. Thank you very much. Don't you agree with me that wrong is wrong? Why should the whole of Ghana keep quiet while our water bodies are destroyed by galamseyers? Why are demonstration organizers to start organizing what they know best to pressure government to pass a decree that will make the terrorist attack on our rivers a criminal offense? If you lose an eyes defending this cause is better than losing one for a new voter register. Oh, Blackmall Adeno, I see where you're coming from. On that note, because they are asking me to keep quiet, Benedict also will come and tell us why Cristiano Ronaldo at a pre-match conference decided to just get up and leave. We've got sports coming up.
Okay.